cut me too deep. I think I'm dying here, man.
And floors the creek, they lead us to the places from which we dare not peek. A journey through fear in the realm of the night. In every word they speak, our hearts ignite with fright. Welcome to the horror show, the Deep Cut Podcast, where nightmares come alive, ready to take their blow. Tune into the chilling delight on the airwaves of the night. Let the darkness grow. Let the darkness grow.
Aw, yeah! It's that time again for another bi-weekly podcast with your hosts, Rotten Roger DeMarco and
Evil Dead Inks. Raj, things sound a little different this week. Where the hell are we?
we're in a cave. We are at Slash and Bash Film Festival in Topeka, Kansas, correct?
Absolutely, we are.
You blindfolded me. I don't know.
This is our 5th, 6th, 7th. I don't know how many years we've been coming to this, but it's been quite a few. The last time we were here and recording, we had a surprise guest on to talk for a little bit.
True.
So we thought we should probably try to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
So who do we have with us on this glorious day, sir?
Today, we have a special guest. We have Malvolia herself. We have Jen Nangle, Jennifer Nangle, however you prefer.
Either or, all of the above.
Yes.
Or you can even talk to me and call me the queen. I'm open.
This is the queen of midnight horror, you know. From 1031 Part 2, 1031 Part 3, and you have your own feature over on your table.
Body count, yes. Yeah.
So,
I'm brand new to the 1031 series because I remember him telling me,
where have you been?
I'm getting older, and I found with getting older, it is incredibly difficult to get me to watch anything new because I have to set aside so much time to where I'm not going to be bothered. I'm not completely dead-ass tired from, 9 to 5 stuff, and to devote my attention to something new. And if I can't completely give it the devoted attention, I don't throw it on. So it's hard to get. I have a long backlog of
you should
things.
see the stack of movies next to his TV when I'm like, every time he visits me, I'm like, here, take these home.
He hands me a handful of movies.
Homework.
But now, granted, he did loan me 1031, the first one, quite a ways back.
3 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, it's been a while, so I have seen 1031, the first one.
All
I'm
right.
not as up to date as you are. This is definitely the thing you found first and was telling me about, and as of today, you've just now purchased Part 3.
Yeah, I'm stoked. And you said Part 4 is...
Part 4 is coming out, yes. From what I understand, it's probably going to be October. How fitting,
Yeah,
right?
of course. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but that's the rumor on the street, so...
I have a sickness where I pretty much buy everything that Screen Team Releasing puts out. Every time I see something, I'm like, well, I'm going to put that in the cart, ask the wife when we have the spare coin, and it's coming home.
That's impressive.
Or it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
It's true, yeah.
I purchased this. I hope you're not too angry at
Then the
me.
lights dim and go out, and we're like, well, we'll get lights next month. But,
What's more important?
Yeah.
Horror.
But I got this movie right now.
Yes.
Can't watch it here because we don't have power, but whatever.
So
yeah.
I was curious how did 1031 come into your realm? And then how did it come into your realm? Because my story's easy. You showed me.
I said watch it, yeah.
Yeah. So the more interesting story is, how did it come to you first?
So I was I think I was already a horror host at the time. I mean, I had to have been. And Malvolia must have already been out. And I kept seeing all over Facebook 1031. And, we all know 1031 is Halloween, and that's obviously all of our jam. So I was curious about it. And at the time, I was talking a lot to Brett Yeager, one of the first directors from the first film. And I said, hey, what's this 1031 thing all about? And he's like, oh, it's a horror anthology that Rocky Gray created. And I'm like, well, who's Rocky Gray? And he was like, you don't know who Rocky Gray is? And I'm like, oh God, okay. Oh, Evanescence. Okay, I know who he is. I got it. And so I said, what's going on? Like, are they done filming it? Are they looking for any actors? I would love to audition. And he said, from what I understand, all the filming is done. And
that won't do.
no, I usually don't take that as an answer, so I go to the source. So I slid into Rocky Gray's DMs, very professionally, by the way.
Yeah.
And I had asked him, and he said, yeah, everything was pretty much completed. They were done. Thank you, but no thank you. And I was like, okay, well, story of my life, rejection after rejection. And I want to say like a week later, he messaged me back, and he said, hey, I've been thinking about it, and I'd really love to have a horror host be a part of this franchise. What can you do? What are you interested? Do you want me to write something? And I was like, yes, write me something. I'll shoot it this week, and let's do it. And so that's what we did.
Very, very cool.
And I stuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the movies wouldn't be the movies without you.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, and so that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is how did you decide, like, you wanted to do the horror host thing? I mean, that's, I'm sure you get asked that a million times, but, like, what brought that on to where you were like, well, I'm going to start a YouTube, or I'm going to make some films, or whatever? What?
So I never wanted to be a horror host. I never.
That sounds oddly familiar.
Right? I never wanted to be a director. Never wanted to be a writer, producer, whatever. I never wanted to do any of this stuff. I just wanted to act. But I had written a script treatment for another film franchise, and I sent it off, and it got politely declined. But one of the producers was like, "You have something with this. You should really move forward with it. Either way, like, do it on your own." And so for a while, it was a found footage. It was a found footage franchise, and I thought, what am I going to do? I want to do something different. I want to do something that nobody's talking about, because nobody's talking about horror hosting. So I said, I'm going to make a found footage film about a horror host. And I was kind of going through a Blair Witch Project moment.
Yes.
I was watching a lot of found footage films at the time to kind of figure out what I wanted to do, what I didn't want to do. And so I was like, what if I made her real? What if we had an audience where after we filmed the movie, we would have that audience, and everybody would watch the movie, and that would help with distribution. That would be cool, and people would think she's real, but maybe she's not real. I went through that kind of moment, and I just moved forward, and I hit up a couple of horror bloggers, and I said, hey, I'm gonna kind of do like this private thing. I'm gonna release a photo, and say like if there's a new vixen in town or whatever. And 2 or 3 sites were like, yeah, let's do it. And they released the photo, and the found footage film never got made or written, and here we are 7 seasons later for Malvolia. So that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah. Yep. That's how you create like a seed of something, and then you're like, I'm going to take it all the way.
Yes.
And then like little bits and pieces get stripped from it, and then before you know it, you're doing something completely different. But
exactly. Yeah. But I wouldn't go back. I wouldn't do it differently. I've really enjoyed this ride. I think it's been so fun. I've gotten to do a lot of things that I would never do. I mean, I'm a Los Angeles-based actress, and whenever I go out for roles or commercials, it's always the best friend, or it's the neighbor. I'm never the ingenue. I'm never the lead. I'm never the villain. And I was like,
You sound angry about not being the villain.
I want to play the villain. Is like the coolest part, It's like you go through this journey with this person that's like so angry and hateful and evil and mean, and they kill everybody, and then they die in the end. But which is also super fun to do, So
and when you're in charge, you get to do those things.
That is true. That is true.
No one can tell you no. Like that's kind of when we talked to Joe Bob, and we were like, we're gonna make this movie, and he was like, well, when anyone tells you it's not a movie, you tell them,
but it is.
It is.
Yes,
it is because I say it is, and make it.
Yeah.
And no one can tell you otherwise. And those words kind of stuck, and we were like, you know what? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we can do this, and it is a movie. Damn it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You can do whatever you want to do. The people that say no are the ones that have the fear themselves.
Yep.
You never listen to anybody else's opinion. Just kind of do your own thing, because people will be like, they won't like it. It's not marketable. Yeah, it is. Everything is nowadays.
Yep.
You'll find your audience. You'll find your people.
Make something that you like,
Exactly.
and then you'll find people that are like you, which are the people you want to be around anyway.
And honestly, the person that you really want to please is yourself. So there you go.
Yeah. Absolutely. So,
I was gonna say, so when you're going through the long list of doing the found footage movie you're going through, what was your favorite, and what was the least favorite when you're doing the found footage movie research?
Oh my gosh. So this was years ago. So let's see if my memory is all there.
What stuck out as like, ooh?
what's creme de la creme for you?
Yeah.
I mean, Blair Witch Project is always going to be number one.
Yes.
I ate dating and aging myself. That was, when I was going through high school. And so,
Same.
there was so much talk. Is it real? Is it not real? Do they exist? Do they not exist? And that was for such a film to make such a ruckus is huge. That marketing was exquisite.
Yeah.
Exquisite. And I don't know if it'll ever be able to be done again.
No.
Yeah,
Not the way everything is now.
Yeah.
It's echoes.
Yeah.
That. And answering one of the basic questions is, why are you still filming
Yeah.
throughout the thing? And some of the times it's hard to, like, why are they still filming?
Yeah.
By the way,
But they're
Yeah.
still
Which
doing
it
it.
works, yeah.
Yeah.
So did you watch all the bonus material on that, like the documentary, like the Sticks and Stones and all that initially was going to be the movie?
I always did watch it back in the day. Like I watched the documentary online. When the internet was first coming out. I watched
12 hours to download it.
Forever. But that's where I watched it, on AOL or something.
Yep.
But I didn't rewatch it. I tried to rewatch the documentary, but it was a little slow for me. I'm kind of like, I must have adult ADD, ADHD or something, because if something doesn't really get my attention, I'm like, okay, moving on.
Right.
I did not watch the bonus materials, but I did do a lot of kind of research on the marketing thing that they did about the Sundance and how the actors weren't allowed to go and how they kept this mystery about it. And so that to me was really fun to kind of revisit. Just to add on to another, I don't remember what the title is. I will probably have to get it to you guys. You can put it in your little blurb or whatever. There is an Asian documentary where it's like this film crew hires a bunch of people to go into a haunted house. And they have to break in, sneak in, and they film everything. And it seems to be, I don't want to give it away, but it is one of the best found footage films that I've ever seen. I've showed it to my best friend, and I gave it to my therapist. I was like, watch this, because she's super into horror too. And I'm like, watch this movie, it's the best. And everybody comes back and they're like, you're right. It is really good. They all have GoPros on them. I don't know if that's really how they filmed it, but they all have GoPros. Everybody gets their attention. The way that it's cut, the suspense, the twists and turns of the film, it's so good. So that was definitely another one that I really enjoyed. But as far as the ones that I didn't, I don't know. There aren't any titles.
You don't have to worry about their own shade.
Yeah. I kind of want to be respectful, because I feel like everybody that makes a movie goes through the journey and stuff. But I just knew, for me, with the found footage documentary stuff, if scenes kind of dragged a little too long, or there wasn't real meaty, juicy subjects in the scene, and it just kind of was airy-fairy, those for me did not work. But there are some people that love slow burn.
Yeah.
That's not my jam,
Only Blair Witch, because I feel like, my kids are 17 and 14. My 17-year-old daughter hates Blair Witch. She's like, this is the most annoying movie
I know
that I've ever seen. My 14-year-old son, he's like, this is the greatest. This is top 5. This, The Shining, he's like, this is brilliant.
Wow.
Because when he watches it, he's not distracted by his phone or anything. He's locked in.
He's really into it, yeah.
And he's feels like he's walking through the woods, and I'm like, see, that's why that works.
Yes.
Because you're not distracted. If you can hone in, if you feel like you're lost in the woods with them, then it's okay for them to argue for 90 minutes and then, the payoff be the payoff.
Agreed.
It works.
Agreed.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But watching it, did you know what it was that was in the little knapsack when Heather Donahue opens it up that's from Josh? Because I know, after many years, they're like, oh, it's teeth. It's bloody teeth that's in the
I've always
sack.
assumed teeth.
But
Teeth or tongue or something?
I thought it was a tongue too the first time I saw it. And I've heard other people say a tongue. Some people said like a liver or something like that. But I was just
a small ass liver.
I mean, I was just curious. I was like, did anyone else see the same kind of stuff? Like after someone confirmed it's teeth, and then you look at it like, oh yeah, I can see now it's teeth.
Oh, it is definitely teeth. Okay, yeah.
It's teeth, but like, so at least I'm not the only one that thought like it was something.
No, I thought it was like something juicy was in there.
Yeah, like how's he still screaming in the woods if he doesn't have the tongue anymore?
Yes.
Oh my way!
He's just Morse code like tapping on the trees.
Exactly.
Really loud.
So outside of found footage, what's your jam as far
bread
as
and butter for
horror cinema?
Slasher.
Top slasher.
Yeah. I'm Friday the 13th fan. I know we have some Nightmare on Elm Street people here, but
I'm one of them.
So sorry.
So which Friday? Which Friday?
The very, very first one.
Really?
Yeah.
The very first one?
Yeah. It's kind of nostalgia for me, you know? Yeah.
We're, the wife and I are in a weird camp. We like 5, 7, and 8 best.
Yeah.
Which people give us shit for 5. It's not even Jason, and really give us shit for 8 because it's in Manhattan.
I mean, that's pretty dope, though.
It is awesome.
It is, but we like 5, 7, and 8, and we get a lot of flack for liking those 3.
Well, the haters are gonna hate,
Yep.
you know. So
I'm a part 4 kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody really, especially like over the past 5-6 years, people are like 4 is the best, you know. But also, we really like Jason Goes to Hell, which is boobage shirt going on here. But you know, old
there's only
meatball.
like 3 times a year I wear this shirt, and this is one of them.
this is the place.
Yeah,
Can't wear
going
it
to
in
the
living
grocery
room.
store, I don't really. I'm gonna wind up on like the people of Walmart YouTube channels doing
You
doing
can just
that.
put a little tape on there, you
Little
know.
tassels.
Or or just go during the right season. I can just zip up the jacket and it's just a screaming face there. You can't really see nothing.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Fun fact: we've been talking about Malvolia Takes Manhattan
Yes.
for years now. There is a script that is slowly being written. So
That would be amazing.
Yeah. We want to actually go to Manhattan and actually film it there too. So
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
Put up your Indiegogo. You got my money.
all right.
Going.
Instead of going to Canada and it's totally
Pretending, yeah.
totally New York.
This alley is in New York.
The Great White Manhattan.
Or we might have to go to downtown LA and maybe get some shots there too. But
Just cheat it, you know.
yeah,
You gotta do what you gotta do.
absolutely.
I had something and I lost it.
Oh,
It's up to you now.
Oh, no pressure though.
Well, I just wanted to talk about horror hosts, like, again, with when you grew up. See, around here, and for me, I had, like, Dr. Sanguinary did Creature Feature and, you know, all the public domain horror and stuff like that. And obviously there's
Monster
Sven,
Vision.
and Monster Vision with Joe Bob Briggs, and, like, Sven Gulli is really big. But, like, in your hometown when you were growing up, did you guys have, like, a local cable access, like, horror host? Or
This is gonna sound super terrible, but like growing up, I wasn't super into horror. It was always surrounding me because my dad is a huge Universal Monsters fan. My grandmother was super into vampires, Anne Rice, Alfred Hitchcock fan.
Yes.
So it was always like around me, but I was too cool. I was too cool for school, you know? But when Scream came out, that was kind of like what pulled me in.
yeah,
I never was into the horror hosting thing, unfortunately. I did watch Tales from the Crypt
yeah.
Oh,
a
yes.
lot. Was not
That counts.
Okay,
It
that
counts.
counts.
It counts.
Okay,
Yeah.
But as far as somebody local, I'm not aware of. Yeah, in the Boston area. If anybody knows, comment below if
When-
you have that.
When Scream came out, I was 12,
Yeah.
and Evil was 13, and that really did kind of change the landscape of horror. You know, everybody kind of talks about how, like, slashers were dead, and so when Scream came out, like, it, like, started making a ton of money and whatnot, but, like,
Yeah.
it kind of ushered in a bunch of new fans. And even when I was growing up, I was always the kind of dorky kid because I was into horror movies. But once Scream came out, I was, like, more accepted. You know, everyone
you were
was
cool
like,
then, yeah.
like, dude, did you see Scream? And then, like,
Yeah.
you know, like, yeah, of course I saw Scream. And then it was like, you know, a little easier on me.
Yeah, I kind of had a fun revisit to Scream. I hosted an event called Night of Nightmares last month, where it was some characters or actors from Nightmare 3 and 4.
Nice.
And Lee Wydell was there, and he is the original Ghostface. And so I approached him because I wanted to get a picture because I had some revenge I wanted to get on somebody and show how cool I was. And he ended up being like the coolest guy. Like, he's super fun and he's funny and he's very outgoing. And so I was like, the other day when I was killing time for my flight, I was like, oh, Scream is on Max. I haven't watched this in years, you know? And it just brought it all back.
Yeah.
And the way that movie is written, Wes Craven, be proud, you know, because it's just iconic.
Yeah.
How he makes fun of Nightmare on Elm Street, how he makes fun of horror, but how he embraces horror at the same time. Oh God, it was just so fun really, really listening to the dialogue and really, really watching the characters and how they all come together. It's just, to me, it's pretty perfection.
Yeah.
So
The first one, we refer to it all the time as like lightning in a bottle. Like,
yeah,
obviously sequels kind of like wane in quality.
yeah.
But like that first movie is as close to perfect as you're gonna get in 1996, especially. But like, yeah, like it's such a good movie.
So good. Just so good.
But fun to pick apart in spots.
Yes.
Like, why is he in a full costume in the convenience store running around?
Or like in the woods, like there's that like that Bigfoot pose that he does.
Yeah. Who is that for?
Yeah, we're trying to like, now who is that? I was like, is that Billy or is that? I was like, that's Stu, stupid ass
totally
out there.
Stu.
Like,
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna put it on, just run through the woods.
Plus, I didn't realize his outfit is sparkly.
Oh, yeah.
There's like
It's catching the
sparkles
light,
to it.
yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, he's blinging. Okay.
It's like the blood in Lost Boys. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
that's super glittery
Yeah.
on high def TV. I didn't realize
Well, it was
that.
like Edward, you know, in the earlier years.
I never noticed that it was sparkly until Blu-ray. Like
Yeah.
when,
Yeah.
growing up on VHS, I'm like, it's just like
then
whatever, like clear blood or whatever, slime,
Yeah.
ooze.
Then it kills that whole, like, my vampires weren't sparkly and shit. I was like, whatever, it came out their fucking blood, man.
Yeah. And they're super sweet mullets.
Oh my gosh, yeah. 80s. Love
So
it.
you said we're a Tales from the Crypt fan. Do you remember any of your favorite episodes from that series? Because we've not on the podcast, but we have on we used to do live streams once a week, and we definitely did a couple where we went through like our top 15 or so episodes. The first one that always pops out to me is I love Terror Television, the one with Morton Downey Jr. doing the talk show hosting through a supposed haunted house. That's
Oh,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's very found footage.
Yes.
That one I feel is
Yes.
very like October time frame appropriate. I always want to throw that one on in particular. The wife is a huge fan, and I know you are a little like a split second.
Yeah. With the lumberjacks.
Yeah, the lumberjack that gets cut in half, that goes blind. It has
Or the college where with Kevin Dillon, where they have to go, their initiation is to go
yes,
in that haunted
one.
house.
I forget about a ton of them until you start talking about it, and
Exactly.
then they start unraveling in the
So
mind's
many.
eye.
Yeah. I really need to go revisit. I don't know if I should comment on this question. I would just be gibberish right now because I don't really remember.
Because we reviewed Dr. Giggles on the podcast.
I recently watched Dr. Giggles.
I love
Yes.
that stupid
Yes.
Love it so much.
That has a lot of dark comedy in it. A lot. A lot of funny lines for sure.
I didn't know that would start out as a Dark Horse comic book.
I just learned that right now too.
I
Mind
literally,
blown.
Yeah.
Then I messaged you and you're like, yeah, I knew that. Or,
I have those somewhere in the video store.
Whoa.
Total dork.
I was listening to a review of Constantine on something else. Like, that's a Dark Horse. And like, something else is a Dark Horse. Dr. Giggles is like, shit, I had no idea about that. I wish I'd known that a few weeks back when we talked about that movie. But man, what sequel opportunities that movie should have had.
Yeah, big time. Big time. Yeah.
And then the biggest, like, the difference is, going back to Tales from the Crypt, is you think of
Santa Claus.
Yeah, where Drake is playing that Santa Claus in the very first Tales from the Crypt episode. He plays the escaped Santa Claus.
Uh-huh.
And I always think of him where he plays the butler for the adopted kid who is adopted by two vampires. And they unveil, like, hey, we're vampires.
Like,
and
I
the
don't
kid's
remember.
like-
You don't remember.
Kid's like, holy shit, I'm a werewolf.
So, Tales from the Crypt, you watched a lot of, but did you ever watch like Tales from the Dark Side or
I have.
Twilight Zone? Were you a Twilight Zone kid growing up?
I still rewatch a lot of the reruns. Not the new not the new one, but
The Jordan Peele one? You weren't a fan of the Jordan Peele?
yeah, I mean,
Not a Jordan Peele fan?
I liked the one episode of it. The redux of the one with the airplane. Is that?
Oh, Nightmare.
Yeah, I was like, is it the remake of Nightmare at 20,000 Feet? Like that one wasn't bad because they really utilized like new age tech. Like he finds a MP3 player.
Yeah.
And he's listening to a podcast of the plane that he's on at the moment.
yeah.
And things unfold like in the past and real time. I was like, that was good, but I didn't really watch the other ones. I was like, that one was almost too good.
It's
to go
okay.
on.
Like Jordan Peele is pretty divisive. I find like whenever you bring up him, there are people who really hate him, and then there are people who really like him. You know, I don't necessarily know that he's like the second coming, or he's not our new Wes Craven by any means, but he's a talented dude for sure.
For me, when you take somebody else's work and you pretty much do the same thing, and maybe he was paying homage to it. I mean, no disrespect or anything like that, but to me, it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather somebody like do something new, do something original. I'm so sick of remakes.
Yeah.
But then again, like his movies too, for me, are just kind of blah. Like, I'm trying to even remember some of the titles right now. Get Out. I mean, I enjoyed Get Out, and that was a fun twist. But I mean, it was just very like one note for me. All of his films are one note for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in half and
In half and
out
half.
on him.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it either, if that makes sense.
No, I get you.
And it's a specific type of mood. Like some movies that we talked that we thoroughly enjoy, I'd say they have like a stain to them. Like it puts you in a mood for the rest of the day. Like Pet Sematary.
Oh yeah.
Great movie, but
Yeah.
I definitely feel different the entire rest of the day after I watch it.
For sure.
Or like the original Candyman, same way. Like fantastic movie, but I definitely don't feel
Yeah.
So
yeah. That's how you know they got into your soul,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
And we usually like to say everybody kind of likes a different flavor of popcorn. you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And a lot of the movies we gravitate towards are more slapstick, splatstick, silly. You know, we want gallons of blood as opposed to like a super realistic throat slash because we see enough real violence.
Yeah.
So we want it over the top. I want fizzy cherry red blood, crazy fun.
You may like body count.
Yes. I know I will. I absolutely know I will.
We should get back to that. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I've done Malvolia for 6 seasons, and I just kind of hit a plateau. I wasn't really getting a big viewing anymore, and I just felt like my work was just kind of being kind of the same old. We were kind of following the same structure every season, and I know that can get boring for some people, so I wanted to do something different. And I thought, how can I get in front of more people and get more eyes on me? And I was like, I'll make a feature film around Malvolia. Well, what can I do that's easy, I'll make a horror anthology, and I'll play every villain in every segment, and it'll be horror villain driven female horror anthology, and that's cool. Everybody will dig it. Women power, yay!
Yes.
And that's what I did, and it's been an adventure. It's been such an adventure.
Earlier, before we started recording, we were talking about making your first feature and like doing it all on your own. And you said you had a fairly modest budget,
$4,000.
Yes,
That's it.
And with Tapehead, that's like us when we did that. It was around that. We scrimped and saved. We literally saved all of our change for like a year. And then we're like, go cash this in, and now we can buy people Funyuns or whatever.
Yeah.
And
So McDonald's, for sure.
Absolutely. So there's definitely something about that grassroots, by any means necessary filmmaking that I feel some people are missing out on because they can do an Indiegogo and get $100,000,
which I'm super jealous of.
I'm jealous, but
I'm not as I wouldn't put it in the jealous camp. I more look at it as like I just throw my hands up, like the one that keeps irritating us is like the new whatever the Amityville is.
Oh yeah,
next, the toilets, sharks, backpacks.
Yeah, Amityville backpack or something.
I was in 3 Amityvilles, by the way. Woo! Yeah, I know. I wonder if I'm the one that holds the record, but we'll find out.
It just blows our mind. We're like, they just keep coming.
Yeah.
But like making a movie with no money
is there's just, there's so much more heart and passion behind it, and that's like we gravitate towards that. Like I watch everything from the cheapest of the cheap to the most expensive of whatever giant blockbuster, and the most fun we're ever going to have is when you can tell everybody is doing 20 jobs on set and they're having a blast, and like it might not necessarily be shot on a red or some crap. Yeah, red is like this air quotes standard for a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
But, shoot it on a DSLR. And, embrace the grind.
Yeah. And the grunge, the grind and the grunge. Yeah. I definitely felt that making Body Count. I mean, we shot maybe a total of 8 days, but I would never do this again. The cast of each segment was so large that trying to get like 10 people in one location was like the most difficult thing in the world. And then the wraparound, I was like, oh, let's make it 15. Let's kill more bodies, And it was like, it's cool because we kill a lot of people in the movie. That's the body count. But that was the most difficult.
Scheduling sucks.
Scheduling. And in Los Angeles, when you are not paying people, you're just praying that everybody shows up, because if somebody books a job and it's paying, they're like
sorry.
Peace. And you're scrounging around last minute, like, who can I fill this part or whatever. And so, that was definitely one of the most difficult things.
It's weird.
What year did you
punishment like that? Like, like this is difficult. What would be better? Let's increase it by 5 more people.
What year did you make Body Count?
We started in 2022 and we finished in 2023.
Okay.
Yeah, we started in July and then we ended in June, May.
So COVID was pretty well done by then?
No.
Still full swing COVID?
It was still clinging to being a thing. So I remember there's still a lot of mask mandates and showing cards in certain locations.
And that's difficult
in 2022.
when you have to try and get a bunch of people in one room.
Well, not only that, and so we made sure that we wrote, and I rewrote a lot of stuff too, that nobody was kissing, nobody was like, sexual, making out, like none of that stuff, because I didn't want a COVID issue. I didn't want that coming back on me because I couldn't afford insurance and all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately for me, I survived COVID super easy. I pretty much worked throughout the pandemic. I did not get COVID until we were trying to shoot one of the segments for Body Count, and I came down hardcore with COVID. And then I took the medication for COVID, and what they tell you is that you are going to have some symptoms. You may feel like you have. No, I had full-fledged COVID again a week later while we were shooting the wraparound. I just wasn't contagious, and I didn't know that that's what was happening to me. But if you ever watch the movie The Wraparound, I woke up that morning and I'm severely sick. Like by the end of the movie, you can hear like I have no voice. I'm like doing this really dramatic monologue at the end, and I'm like, I couldn't breathe.
ADR.
Oh my God, it was just atrocious. It was atrocious. Yeah. It was like one of the hottest days in LA too. It was like rainy, cold. We were like having a monsoon a couple months ago, and then I was like, this is the day we can get everybody to do the wraparound. 80 degrees in San Diego, and we're all dying and sweating. What are the odds?
That's part of the thing, is you expect the unexpected, but you don't know how to do that. Because it always just every time it's a new set of surprises on what's it going to be this week.
Exactly. Or this moment, this minute.
So a sidebar to that, referring to COVID, when we were making the first Tapehead, the short film, I had everything scheduled out, like you said. You get all your cast, your crew, everybody. Like, these are the scenes we're shooting this day. So I need 3 actors. I need this. I need that. Whatever. 7 hours before shooting. 2 of the 3 actors, 2 of the 3 are like, hey, we tested positive for COVID, so we can't. And I'm like, well, I rented a lens, I've done that, and I have a lens for like 2 days.
Oh no.
So it was literally last minute, like calling people, hey, can so-and-so, do you want to do this scene? Do you want to do this? And like, the guy who plays Tapehead, his son is like 14, and he's really tall, and I'm like, passed for like a 17, 18-year-old kid, and so he's like, I'm gonna have him skip school and he's gonna come do this for you.
Awesome.
And he brought Clayton in to do the part. But like, that's just, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. That's what happens on a film set. You're like, oh, I didn't know or someone had a peanut allergy or whatever, so like now craft services is fucked or whatever. And
I thought that was just like the Jen Nangle syndrome, but clearly like it's filmmaker syndrome. Okay, I feel a lot better now.
No, everything that you pride yourself on like prepping is wrong.
Yeah,
it's always wrong. You're like, well, shit. Okay.
We purposely selected a town that was really low population, so it's like we can shoot
People
on the
walking
street,
in,
and it literally, I think we were just like braking for like several minutes for like 18 wheelers to go through and tractor trailers, and it's across from a bar and the post office, and everybody had shit to deliver that day apparently. And we tried to go to eat at the one restaurant that was open because the other restaurant was closed for a wedding, and the one restaurant we went into didn't serve food until like 6 hours from now, and they hadn't seen daylight in that bar I think since the mid '80s.
Yeah, it was gnarly. And then
that sunlight hit them, and you just see people like, shut that.
And that night, I think we shot until like midnight, and we're shooting outside of this building, and we set up a backdrop stand with like a black tarp, like we didn't want people watching us. Some drunk guy came out of the bar and threw a beer bottle at one of the actors.
No.
Oh, and we were like all mobbed up. The guy who played Tapehead, who's like a big bodybuilder, and then
I wasn't there because I was busy off trying to head back to where we were staying for the night and got a speeding ticket on the way home.
No.
Yeah, so I paid that speeding ticket because that's what you do. But this guy throws this beer bottle, and like we get everybody on set who's like tough except him because he's gone.
Yep.
And I'm like, I guess we're gonna have to go like confront this guy. And my wife like walked past all of us, and she's like, "You're gonna pick that glass up?" And and this drunk guy was like, "You want me to pick up the glass?" And she's like, "Yes, now, right." And he was like, "Okay."
Oh my God, I love her.
Yeah, she was like straight gangster. Like, no, this is not gonna fly in this. You're not gonna throw beer bottles at us.
Sometimes you get to the point where it's like, fuck you. Just what do you think you're doing?
Yeah, we've been filming 16 hours. It's hot as shit. You're standing out here yelling at us, and now we have to do ADR over all of this.
Good for her. Good for her, man. Yeah.
You gotta cut his fingers all up, didn't you? Like, because he's
oh yeah, he was picking it up barehanded. Yeah.
Wow.
No broom, no
That's
nothing.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Other than COVID, did you have any crazy hiccups during filming?
Well, during the filming of it, I had another situation kind of like you guys where we were filming at a park. We got there super early, so no people would be around. It would be really dead. It was like barely a 2-scene part for the film. And as soon as we started shooting, this tractor comes in.
Oh yeah.
And he's like dumping dirt and moving it and this and that. So you can definitely hear it in the park scenes in some spots too. I'm trying to think.
no lawnmowers you had to go pay off. Like, can you just do this tomorrow?
No.
Here's $5.
No, we would always. I mean, definitely like the airplanes. Like we would have to like wait until they went by, and that. I did have. We were shooting the last. It was a pickup scene. I picked up the rest of the part of if anybody watches it, Holly Hatchet. I directed the last half. It's where Holly meets a guy in a truck. She hitchhikes, and seriously, every 5 minutes a plane was going overhead. Every 5 minutes. So there is, if you guys go to my Instagram, there's me singing and dancing to an airplane saying, I can't wait for this to be over because this is our last shot and this needs to happen now, because the whole shoot was just one thing after another.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All things you can laugh about, but it takes a lot of time to get past
Yeah.
it.
Oh, God. It's just so frustrating when you have like one day, you know, when you have 15 people and you just got to get through stuff.
So, a funny thing about that is the last Tapehead, when we were shooting it, we got the city's permission to shoot on certain streets.
Yeah.
You know, they were nice enough to give us cones. They were like, you can block off the street during these hours. We block off the street, so we're shooting these exterior shots. Crazy drunk rednecks, they just drive right through the cones and yell like, fuck you, and you're like,
What?
like, the street is blocked. And you can't do anything but laugh because you're like, I guess back to one, you know?
Seriously. You just gotta roll with the punches for sure.
So I just rewatched Brutal Massacre and I was like, this ain't just a movie now. It's literally a documentary of what it is really like to try to film a movie.
Have you ever seen Brutal Massacre?
No, but I will put it
God.
on the list.
Stephen Mena film, and it's got, why can't I think of his name? David Naughton.
David Naughton plays the director, and it's shot almost mockumentary style about how he's going to be making this next horror movie, and it's literally following him doing the shoot.
Oh my
of
God,
it.
that's fantastic.
Gunnar Hansen plays a character where, Ken Foray is in it, Brian O'Halloran is in it, a couple of the Evil Dead ladies are in it.
Mm-hmm. Ellen Sandwise and Betsy Baker, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's got like a familiar cast.
Yeah.
But just after you make any kind of,
please watch it.
yeah,
I will.
you will just
I will.
You'll cry. You'll laugh, but you're gonna cry. You're gonna be like, "This is true. This is true. This is true."
I've gone
Brian
through this.
O'Halloran saying,
I got 4 hours to get 15 fucking shots.
Yeah.
So everyone, wake up.
It's true. Or somebody's having a dramatic moment, crying in the bathroom or something. Yeah.
Yep, you gotta tighten the belt. We gotta let some people go that we're not even paying to be here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, definitely add Brutal Massacre to your list. I would also say, since you were talking like an anthology and like found footage, another movie you turned me on to that's been a staple for October, that WNUF Halloween special.
Oh my God, that's perfect. It's perfect.
Definitely if you're in that wheelhouse of liking like old school like commercials and stuff.
Yeah. I feel like I saw that. Was it on Shudder?
It was for a little.
Okay, I did see it.
brief
I did
period.
see it. Yes.
You mean
Shudder.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
Wait, one more time?
Shudder.
please sponsor me?
Yeah, because that was a movie you also told me to watch, and I had actually ordered that one before I even finished it off
Yeah,
Amazon.
that's how you know
I
it's
do need
good,
to
when you're
own
like
this.
in the middle of it and you're like, bye now.
Yes. Yeah. Totally.
breaks the Baby Driver rule. If it's a movie good enough to watch twice within a 7-day period, it's got something special.
Oh, hell yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
how did you get hooked up with Scream Team Release? Like, how did that? Did Justin talk to you, or did you talk to Justin? Or?
For the 1031?
Yeah, like.
I was just a part of 1031.
And then so he just picked it up.
Yeah. That's all between him and Rocky.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I unfortunately am just an actor on there.
Are
but
you planning to do anything with Justin?
I would love
Yes, Justin.
to do something with Justin.
Holler at your girl.
Yes. You know where I am on Facebook.
Yes.
I mean, I would love to do something with him
Yeah.
if it's the right project and it fits for sure. Yeah, I mean, I already have my next feature I want to do, but I need cash. I need cash to make it. So that's going to be a real long process. I have a feeling, just trying to raise the funds.
Launch that Indiegogo.
Yeah.
We'll do what we can.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's just it's gonna definitely be like, yeah, Body Count was my baby, but this is gonna be like my real baby because it has nothing to do with Malvolia. It's just gonna be me strictly acting and directing and producing, and it's more of a murder mystery. So it's really fun, really, really fun. It's all about Hollywood and being an actress, and if anybody wants to donate.
Yes, please do. That's the thing with our audience. They definitely understand like the shoestring budget and how hard we work to do. Like, no joke, when we did the first tape head, and it was probably what, 3,000, maybe something like that for the budget on that one.
I think more like 300, but we made it seem like
Yeah, like
3,000.
Stretch it as far as you can. I
Yeah.
mean, we would do these live streams and, basically beg, like, hey, please donate. If you donate, I swear to God, like, there'll be better gore, maybe, a couple extra kills, this and that. And like all the money we made off of YouTube for like a year, which is not much, but you take
As much
all
as I
that-
wanted to pocket it for myself, you wouldn't let me.
and then, to buy all your gore props and all of that stuff, and
Yeah. Yeah. It's a labor of love. I always say that, labor of love, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So if anyone is going to want to donate or support you, where can they find all your stuffs?
I'm at Queen Malvolia on all the socials, or Jennifer Nangle, or at Jennifer_Nangle on Instagram. Body Count is available for purchase of DVD and Blu-ray, but you just have to contact me personally. I don't have like a website set up or anything.
Buy it.
Buy it.
The slip arts are very awesome. I've never needed $90 so much in my life.
Oh wait, are you talking about 1031?
Yeah, all three of them.
I can't take credit for the 1031s, but yeah.
So it's been way too long since I did watch 1031, so I cannot fully participate in that one. But since you're good about knowing it forwards and backwards, you guys can totally play the prop game.
The prop game?
Yes.
Oh shoot.
Oh.
You know I'm just in the beginning and at the end of 1031.
And you know, and the thing is, with her opening and all of her wraparound stuff, her segments, I'm assuming that that's your Malvolia set to begin with. So those she probably owns all of those props, so she doesn't have to steal them from herself.
So in that aspect, fine. We can go back to, we talked of Blair Witch Project earlier.
Okay.
Another franchise we've yet to cover in full on the podcast. I want to do that next relatively soon, because that's a good 3 movies lined up that we can just boom, just plow right through. If you were to pick a prop from that movie, and not a well-known prop, to take home with you and keep forever, because this is a game we play when we're at conventions, we do it every week on the show, what would be something from that movie that you would like to take home as your personalized prop?
Okay, so I know the go-to would probably be one of the wooden stake things in the forest, or the teeth. Now that we know it's teeth,
Yeah. Which apparently I think a dentist just gave to them. They're like,
I
"Here."
believe you're right.
Yeah,
I believe
they're
you're
like,
right.
I have these. You want to use them?
Yes,
That's some weird
Yes.
business right there.
right.
Do you have any extra teeth that we can use for filming? Like, as a matter of fact, I do. And
I
here's
made
this
some of
drawer.
these teeth and they don't work. So
Like a Ziploc bag.
I
full
got
of
this
teeth.
jar over here. You can have at it.
That's gross.
I think mine would be. What was it? It was Josh had to bring something back on time. It was the sound stuff.
The dat.
The
or-
dat
The dat.
they didn't know he took. Like,
That he
nobody
didn't-
knows
yeah.
I took it, but I took it.
Yeah, and he's like panicking, and I gotta get it back. I would take the dat. That would be
Nice.
my prop.
Very cool.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll
We'll redo this whenever we actually play it when we're just actually reviewing it, because I guarantee I'll forget what we picked today.
oh yeah, we'll forget what we did.
I don't remember. When this drops, I'll like listen like, what the hell did we talk about? I do not remember.
I'll say 2.
2. Okay.
Number 1, I want the bag of marshmallows that she picks at the grocery store. Marshmallows.
Touche.
Because we know that marshmallows don't go bad for a really, really long time, because we did the stuff commentary with the marshmallow
Yeah.
fluff.
Oh.
I knew that was a terrible idea when I thought of it. I thought, that's a good idea. Wait, no, that's a terrible idea. I hit him up. And I was like, what if we watched the movie The Stuff, and every time they're eating the stuff, we have like whipped cream and marshmallow fluff, and we
had to eat it.
for a live commentary track.
Y'all's
And,
stomach must have been in so much pain.
It was bad.
Neither of my feet are real right now.
the diabetes alone.
Yeah, we were Wilford Brimley straight up at the end of it, and it sucks too because we almost killed ourselves and we got like 42 views. We're like,
Oh, no
totally
one's
worth
interested
it,
in
bro.
that.
We'll resurrect that. I'll start sharing that again.
Yes, that was dangerous.
Yeah, that's
Jeff
like I said, the
Fahey,
best
that's
ideas are the one that come to me, and I'm like, that's a good idea, and then I rethink it, and like, nah, it's not. No, it's not.
Terrible idea.
So the marshmallows, and
Second-
what was your backup pick?
Second prop is the slate.
Oh, touche.
You know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You wanna kiss the slate for good luck? You know, gotta have the slate.
I want to say the book that she reads for Coffin Rock, but I feel if it's not deep cut enough, I'll take the bottle of scotch that she takes a shot of.
She fucking hates scotch. Yeah.
We also should do the bonus of the map. Because they fight over that map. And it falls into the river or the lake or whatever. So, yes.
I'm pretty sure Mike kicked that thing in the river yesterday.
Can I have Mikey's chest hair patterns? I don't know. Can I just,
The dead rat.
yeah. What killed this mouse?
Or no, screw that. Scrap everything I want. I want the vine
Oh, yeah.
that Josh is underneath. Like, I'll be under the tree with the vine. Give me the vine.
And we won't get to see it because we'll be at Slash and Bash.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming and
Yeah.
hanging out with us for
talking.
However
random.
long we've been jibber jabbering, it's been a blast to get some insights.
Well, I was already here and you guys kidnapped me, so I had no choice.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Don't
No.
tell them that. Don't tell them that.
No, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. This was really good to reminisce some of the stuff that I haven't thought about, while filming and Malvolia and stuff. So, yeah.
I've got all kinds of things to go home and watch. Like I need to watch Tales from the Crypt, WNUF, and
So
Brutal
much.
Massacre.
Brutal Massacre.
Brutal Massacre.
I swear. Look up the trailer, and the trailer will make you laugh. And like I said, you'll probably cry because you're going to be like, oh my
I've
God.
lived
This is my life.
This literally is our life. And every movie you make from here on out, you'll go, Jesus Christ, this is just like Brutal Massacre. So,
Oh, man.
yeah, it's
All
our
right.
You'll
go-to.
be quoting it.
Yeah.
And our end is go pick up all the 1031s, pick up Body Count,
Yes,
and go support her next project.
do it now.
It's going to be worth every penny.
Aw, thanks, guys.
But I suppose, on that note, we should probably get going because, after all, it's a lot of movies out there and somebody's got to watch them. So why not us, right?
Body Count.
Now.
Thank you for listening to the Deep Cut Podcast. There's a new episode every 2 weeks. You can find it on Spotify and all major podcast apps. Don't forget to let us know your topic. Every 2 weeks, there's a new episode. So rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Podcast. There's a new episode every 2 weeks. Yeah. You can find it on Spotify and all major podcast apps. Don't forget to let us know your topic. Every 2 weeks, there's a new episode. So rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Pod, to the Deep Cut Pod. You can find it on Spotify and all major podcast apps. Don't forget to let us know your topic. Every 2 weeks, there's a new episode. So rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Pie. To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Pod, to the Deep Cut Pod. To the Deep Cut Pod, to the Deep Cut Pod. To the Deep Cut Pod, to the Deep Cut Pod. To the Deep Cut Pod. To the Deep Cut Pod, to the Deep Cut Pod. To the Deep Cut Pod, to the Deep Cut Pod. To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Pod. 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 To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Pod. To the Deep Cut Pod. To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Podcast. Every 2 weeks, there's a new episode. So rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Podcast. 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 To the Deep